Good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel. This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research, make your own decisions. All right, guys, welcome back. It's going to be a brief video. I just want to touch on this really quick. So at this point, we have one of the richest people on earth and probably the most influential person on earth, owns Twitter, SpaceX, Neuralink, Tesla, and Twitter is more or less the public town hall at this point. So he's come out and openly spoken about the importance of things being on chain. And then one of the most popular NFT artists on earth said something very similar. So if I had to guess, I would, and this is conceptually, it's important to like, this is not just for, this concept is not just for NFTs the way that we currently view them right now in the crypto space, more so for art and for speculating. This concept applies to almost anything, anything of value. Okay. And considering every physical asset that has any degree of value is going to have a digital twin, the on-chain is going to become a crypto narrative on its own, in my opinion. But I wouldn't expect everybody else to get it. And it's impossible to be early if everybody else sees it. Okay. And I say that because I've talked to numerous people in the ICP space over the last 2+ years, smaller holders, larger holders, people who've been in since 2021, people who just got in over the last few months. And a lot of times when people come into the ICP space, they see the bigger picture, and then several months in, they don't really see ICP getting a lot of attention in the crypto mainstream. And that causes them to kind of FUD themselves out. All right. So it's impossible to be early if everybody else sees it. And if you try to have the on-chain, off-chain conversation with the majority of people in crypto, they're not going to know what you're talking about. It's not that they're not going to be interested in having the conversation. Most people aren't going to know what you're talking about. They haven't spent the time to look at the design and the architecture of how all this is set up. And that includes many content creators. There's a lot of other content creators more knowledgeable that will openly acknowledge the on-chain, off-chain conversation and how everything is designed right now. But they'll also kind of default to, well, this is just how the industry is set up. This is the standard across the entire industry. And for the most part, that's true, except when you get to ICP. And for the sake of this conversation, Bitcoin in some ways, even though it does have a lot of limitations compared to ICP, but this was also the importance of being on chain. Okay. Again, don't think of this when it comes to the importance of being on chain is just for NFTs, for art, for speculation. The same concept will apply to numerous other things. Same concept applies to Metalore and Origin. And Origin is positioned about as well, probably better than anybody. And I made that post, a month or two ago on Twitter. But look at whenever things really start taking off in the traditional luxury art space. If you look at what Beeple was talking about, and if you go watch this video, so this video was on I should have mentioned this earlier, but it was on one of Raoul Paul's recent podcasts and interviews that he did on his smaller channel, Raoul Paul, Journeyman Raoul Paul, whatever it's called. If you want to go watch this, and it's about 39 minutes in, 39:30, I believe, is where you should start watching. There's about a 5-minute clip. But he talks about how over time, people will find a way to preserve important, valuable information, art, whatever it is. And if you listen to both of what they said, it's very similar. But yet, you'll go back out into the crypto sphere and you'll hear a bunch of people giving their opinions about why this doesn't matter. You got one of the most influential people on earth openly saying, this is how things should be, right? And one of the most popular NFT artists on earth saying something very similar, and then just a bunch of people blatantly ignoring it. These are indicators, okay? When you see things like this and you hear things like this coming from individuals like this, these are indicators. And we have additional supporting information with COP28, the United Nations Climate Conference, openly saying on chain, everything being on chain was a big reason why they decided to use ICP. And it looks like their platform for voluntary recycling credits very well may be the global standard on ICP. So identifying trends early is important. And again, I think when it comes to, I mean, there's just so many different, think about videos, guys. Think about important content, any type of important data. The same concept's going to apply so many things, okay? Everyone will catch on whenever they do, all right? Just guys, really think about how crazy this is. In the crypto space, there's almost no conversations about on-chain, off-chain, and the significance, the importance, the limitations. I mean, think about how crazy that is. You have tons of people covering the blockchain industry, the blockchain slash crypto industry, and there are almost no conversations of on-chain, off-chain. True digital ownership versus the current model. See, this is a paradigm shift within a larger paradigm shift. People are looking at crypto and blockchain as like this huge world-changing paradigm shift, and to some degree it is. But there's already another one happening right in the middle of it that people aren't seeing. The same way, and I mentioned this a long time ago, the same way that the average person who's not in crypto views crypto, just kind of blanketly dismisses it despite all the evidence to the contrary, and they can't really come up with sound logic and reasoning as to why they're blatantly dismissing crypto. That exact same concept applies to people in the crypto space blatantly ignoring ICP. Exact same thought process, the exact same lack of logic and reason, everything. So the future looks bright, guys, in my opinion. The future looks very bright for ICP. If you're in ICP right now, I would just say the future is very bright. And obviously anything could change in the future. Nothing's ever a sure thing. This is not financial advice, but things are looking very good in my opinion. And on top of that too, I saw some of y'all talking about internet identity being a very underrated feature. I think So Mauler and Jimmy Bucket and a couple others on Twitter, and could not agree more, especially with AI. And I should have mentioned this the other day in my AI video, but AI and deepfakes and everything that they can do with text to video, like all of this is going to force a change to the web. Identity verification is not going to be like something that would be nice to have. It's going to be required at some point in the foreseeable future. Because when AI can just create videos of you, of your boss, of somebody that you know, talking and saying a bunch of things they never said, and it's so hard to be able to differentiate whether that's real or whether it's a simulation. When we get to that point, and we're not far away right now, it's going to force a change to the web as it relates to identity verification and content authentication. And so that's like over the next 2 years, in my opinion. In the next 2 to 3 years, and we very well may start to see this materialize over the next 12 months. So in my opinion, all this new tech is a package deal, and AI is one of the best things. And this isn't even getting into what you can do on ICP with large language models running on the chain. This is just talking about really identity verification and authenticating content. ICP is set up, I mean, about as good as anything. I mean, this is the most bullish setup in world history, in my opinion. I did that video, I don't know how long ago. That was more so looking at the charts and ICP dominance relative to the rest of the market cap, crypto market cap. But this is the most bullish setup that I could ever imagine. It's like all these narratives are converging at once. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen over the next week. But the trend The trend is all going in the right direction, in my opinion, but don't expect everybody else to get it because they're not going to. It will be incremental, the same way that it's been up until this point. People will gradually start to see the bigger picture here with everything being on chain. That's all I have for this video. This was not financial advice. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do your own research. Take care. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next video.